I'm doing a quick blog, which you'll see everything down below, and it's why I say no to 95% of people who want to approach me for client work. Over the years, I've built up an agency, done loads of client work, anything from £100 a month up to thousands of pounds per month, budget-wise. Had the full experience of the carrot danglers, the dreamers, the nutcases. I've had them all, and I've had my fill of them all as well, to be fair. Client, why do I turn down all of this work? People think I'm nuts for doing that. And it's more to keep my sanity more than anything else. I think one of the most tedious things you can get in the SEO industry is some crazy client who thinks they know SEO. They have a little bit of knowledge and they try to run with it. And that can be dangerous, more dangerous than the guy that just wants you to crack on with it, and a lot more time consuming as well. So you have clients, I've personally had a client ranked really well for the first 9 to 12 months of the campaign with them. Everything was fine. I could tell they didn't really want to pay for SEO because they don't hold much value in it. Although, we can show them their conversions and all that kind of stuff. So on the other hand, they were saying, you're doing a great job, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. But a few months ago, I went into them and they said to me, what is it you're actually doing for your money? And I said, rank your website, you're paying for SEO services, but we want to know what it is you do, how many man hours go into the campaign, stuff like that. And I said, I can't really quantify man hours because we're not selling man hours, we're not a building firm, and that isn't how it works. We've got tools, we've got experience to pay for, we've got content to pay for, link building to pay for. So it's hard to quantify that you get X amount of hours. I could realistically break it down, but that's, you wouldn't go into a mechanic and ask them, where they got their supplies from and what they paid for them. It's a service, you pay the service fee, and that's it. You don't ask someone what their suppliers' details are or anything like that. So they didn't really like that explanation, and they said, go and tell us more about link building and stuff like that. Now, it was a couple of crazy lawyers, quite arrogant. And I said to them, well, if you want to know more about link building, I sell training courses. If you want to attend one of the training courses, it will cost you this amount of money, and we can disclose how link building works. They took that to be very arrogant, and it was coming across that way. I was faced with 3 lawyers giving me grief about how many man hours go into a campaign when I've ranked them page 1, position 1, and they're telling me they're the busiest they've ever been. So, even if you do successfully SEO, you can still get grief. But on the other hand, I've had a client quite recently. I want to make it quite clear that I don't take clients on based on their budget. I don't dismiss the small guys or anything like that. I've got I've helped guys on £100 a month budgets and so on. Anyway, I was approached by a lady local to where I stay. She had a very, very low budget. Her website was hosted somewhere in Europe, and which was fine. And so what I done was a site audit. Told her that I would advise that she moves her hosting to UK hosting. I would advise that she would be putting some more content onto the website to target the keywords that she wanted to target, and where I could fit in is the technical side and do some link building. But I did also say to her, Google's going to be bringing out this SSL. Google Chrome are going to start saying that your website's not secure. So I would also advise that you get an SSL certificate. Told her the costs and where to go for hosting and SSL certificates and so on. It's a WordPress blog or a WordPress website. So it was a hosting company was going to install the SSL certificate. I would install the plugin and that's it, job done. But there was a cost attached to that which she didn't like. And I wasn't even charging anything for me. I was telling her that the cost of the SSL certificate only. Anyway, so she wanted to just carry on with link building, and 2 weeks into the campaign, she says, I don't believe you're doing any SEO because my SSL certificate's not been installed. I've already told you, you need to go and pay for it. It's not something I'm doing as part of my service. And what we also get is, people who think that SEO is some part of web design or IT support, and you get dragged into so much other crap, it's unreal, and it's not SEO. So clients can be hard work, you know, and you know, their expectation levels are unrealistic to say the least. Not every client, but there's a hell of a lot of them who think that they pay you a fee and they're entitled to talk to you every day whenever they want. You drop your work. They don't understand that, you know, it's appointment only, and you know, they don't understand that their budgets are not always the kind of best budgets in the world, and that for that reason alone, that's why I turned down a hell of a lot of monthly retainer work, because clients' expectation levels are outrageous. You know, I've also had a client recently who was telling me how often I would be reporting to them, what tools I would be using to report to them, and you know, the client will not accept a technical audit from DeepCrawl. They want it to be an SEMrush site audit. My argument to that is SEMrush site audits, good audits, very aggressive, but they do flag up issues that are not necessarily issues under their warnings tab. And yeah, you know, DeepCrawl is a bit more pleasing in the eye and doesn't flag up too much stuff. That you know, that was my reasoning behind it. But the client's saying, I want a SEMrush audit, and that's it. All I can really say to that client is, go and pay for SEMrush yourself and do as many audits as you want. I ain't going to be sitting doing 3 and 4 site audits every month as part of an SEO process, unless you're paying the site audit fees that are attributed to a site audit, because a site audit is not an SEO report. By all means, we can add a wee site audit, it's not a huge deal, but when clients want to use that data against you month on month, that's when you have a problem with that client. And you know, anytime it comes down to a client paying money, they always seem to flag up problems, and that is the type of client that SEOs can be doing without. The most successful campaigns that I've done, you know, when I've got clients that turn over 100 million a year, the clients that just let you crack on, and you know, 80 to 90% of their budget is actually spent doing what SEO really is. But in most cases, with hard work clients, it's probably 25 to 30% of time goes on actual SEO, and the rest of that time is spent on bullshitting, talking, and everything else that holds no value. And for that reason alone, that's why you have to learn to say no to certain SEO clients, because it is just totally unmanageable and people's expectations are becoming more unrealistic by the day. I want to drive a Ferrari. I can only afford the BMW. I can't shout and scream that I want a Ferrari because I paid for a car. You've got to be realistic. I have to save up, I have to learn and make more money if I want to have the Ferrari. So clients, you have to be careful with who you use as an SEO, because there is a lot of bullshitters out there. But on the other hand, it's over stifling. You're stifling the SEO people to some degree, and for that reason, that is why I say no to 95% of clients and do training only. So hopefully that helps someone somewhere, and I'll speak to you soon.